Welcome to my class on thermodynamics. This is my lecture number 8. In this lecture, actually I am going to start about important points like entropy. And this chapter actually begins with a discussion of three laws of thermodynamics. Law of thermodynamics. And also the nature of spontaneity, the spontaneous process, we will start in this chapter. We then see that entropy in this thermodynamics, also most important topic, which is the function of spontaneity of a reaction. Second law of thermodynamics also we will see in this. Also we can see thermodynamic function Gibbs free energy in this chapter. And the chapter concludes with the discussion of how thermodynamics is applied to living organisms, systems. And also we see the principle of coupled reactions plays a crucial role in many biological processes in this chapter. Okay, let us move on to the topic thermodynamics. Thermodynamics is extensive and far-reaching scientific discipline that deals with the interconversion of heat and other forms of energy. And this thermodynamics enables us to use information gained from experiments on a system to draw conclusions about other aspects of same system without further experimentation. For example, we saw in the previous chapter it is possible to calculate the enthalpy of reaction from the standard enthalpies of formation of reactant and product molecules. And in this chapter, we introduce the second law of thermodynamics and Gibbs free energy function. It will discuss the relationship between the Gibbs free energy and chemical equilibrium. And the three laws of thermodynamics, whatever are there, they are most important in the entire study of thermodynamics. But in this lecture, I am going to talk about an important point, that is the spontaneous process. Spontaneous process. It is one of the main objectives in studying thermodynamics. As far as the chemists are concerned, it is to be able to predict whether or not a chemical reaction occur when reactants are brought together under a specific set of conditions. What are the specific set of conditions? Temperature, pressure and concentration. And this knowledge is important whether one is synthesizing a compound in a research laboratory, manufacturing chemicals on an industrial scale, or trying to understand a biological process in a cell. So, a reaction that does occur under specific conditions is said to be spontaneous process, spontaneous reaction. Okay. So, if a reaction does not occur under specific conditions, that is said to be non-spontaneous reaction. We observe spontaneous physical and chemical process every day, including many of the examples. Water runs downhill, and a sugar dissolves in a cup of coffee. Water freezes spontaneously below 0 degrees Celsius, Ice melts spontaneously above 0 degrees Celsius and heat flows from a hotter object to a colder one. But the reverse never happens spontaneously. The expansion of a gas into evacuated bulb in a spontaneous process, and the reverse process, that is gathering of all molecules into one bulb, is non-spontaneous. And also a piece of sodium metal reacts violently with water to form sodium hydroxide and hydrogen gas like Na, H2O, 2NaOH plus H2 gas. This one. But in this reaction, hydrogen gas does not react with sodium hydroxide to form water and sodium. So the reverse reaction is not going to take place. Likewise, we have iron is there. Iron exposed to atmosphere, moist air, and that converts into rust. That means iron exposed to water and oxygen forms rust, but rust does not spontaneously change back to iron. These are the examples that show that process occurs spontaneously in one direction and that cannot undergo in same directions under the same conditions, also takes spontaneously in opposite direction. So in this, if we assume the spontaneous process occur so as to decrease the energy of a system, we can explain why ball rolls downhill and why springs in a clock unwind. Similarly, large number of reactions, exothermic reactions in chemistry are spontaneous, we can say. For example, it is combustion of methane. If you take important point, that is combustion of methane. If you see this reaction, CH4 plus 2O2 gives rise to CO2 plus H2O, 2H2O, and the delta H naught value given as minus 890.4 kilojoule per mole. Whereas we have CH4 is gas, CO2 is gas, CO2 is gas, H2O is liquid. This is an example for spontaneous reaction. Another example is the acid-base neutralization reaction. Acid-base neutralization reaction where H plus is acid in aqueous condition and OH minus is base in the aqueous condition, which gives H2O in liquid state. In this reaction, notice the delta H naught value minus 56.2 kilojoules per mole. Okay, so what is this one? This is simply you can say acid base neutralization reaction. Neutralization reaction. Okay, but if you consider another example like solid to liquid phase transition process, physical process, like H2O is a liquid, H2O is solid ice and H2O liquid. This is ice, this is liquid water. In this reaction, notice the delta H naught value came 6.01 kilojoules per mole only. which is positive. This is positive value. This is solid liquid phase transition process reaction. Phase transition reaction. In this case, the assumption that spontaneous process always decrease a system's energy failed in this case, because solid to liquid delta H value came positive value, which is not exothermic reaction like the above two, but it is spontaneous process. In this, energy of the system decreasing is failed. That experiment is failed, saying that it is endothermic although it is spontaneous. It's a little confusion. Likewise, we have several examples that no need to say that all the exothermic reactions are spontaneous. There are some endothermic reactions also spontaneous. Experience tells that ice melts spontaneously above 0 degrees Celsius. This is above 0 degrees Celsius. Even though the process is endothermic, this is spontaneous process. Likewise, so many contradictions are there in this case. We have dissolution of ammonium nitrate. Dissolution of ammonium nitrate will take, that is NH4NO3, which is solid. If you dissolve in H2O, it splits into ions, NH4 plus in aqueous condition plus NO3 minus in aqueous condition, which is given the delta H value of plus 25 kilojoules per mole. Observe, this process is also spontaneous process. This process is also spontaneous process, and yet it is also endothermic process. It is spontaneous endothermic process. And the decomposition of mercury is also an example. Mercuric oxide, that is HGO, which is a solid, converts into mercury, Hg, and oxygen. Mercury is liquid, oxygen is gas. In this reaction, the delta H value came 90.7 kilojoules per mole from the experiments. From a study of examples mentioned and many more aspects, many more cases, we come to the conclusion, that is exothermicity. This is exothermicity favors the spontaneity of reaction, but it does not give guarantee. There is no guarantee that exothermicity favors the spontaneity of the reaction. Endothermic reactions also behaves spontaneity, shows spontaneous process. So just as it is possible for an endothermic reaction to be spontaneous, it is possible for an exothermic reaction to be non-spontaneous. That means all the exothermic reactions are spontaneous, a few may be non-spontaneous. This is the meaning of it. So when we are saying endothermic processes comes under, endothermic reactions are coming into spontaneous process, exothermic may also exhibit a non-spontaneous process. This is the meaning. That may few examples. In other words, we cannot decide whether or not a chemical reaction occurs spontaneously solely on the basis of energy changes in a system. So to make this kind of prediction, we need another thermodynamic quantity. Definitely we need another thermodynamic quantity which turns out to be nothing but entropy. What is that? Entropy. That is called most important thermodynamic quantity under the discussion. Okay, we will talk about entropy. After understanding these examples, some of the examples thermodynamic exothermic reactions are spontaneous, but some of the endothermic also comes under spontaneous. In this, prediction of spontaneous nature of the chemical reactions may become difficult. That's why we are taking another important quantity which is introduced in thermodynamics to understand the relation between spontaneity and entropy. So, in order to predict spontaneity of the process, definitely we need to introduce a new thermodynamic quantity that is called entropy. Entropy symbol is S. It is often described as a measure of how spread out or dispersed the energy of system is among the different possible ways that a system can contain energy. Simply, it is a measure of the disorder in the system. In a system, if a greater dispersal is there, the greater is the energy, entropy, we can say. Entropy will be more when a system contains greater disorder or dispersal. And most processes are accompanied by dispersal of energy among various energy states of water molecules. As we know, energies of molecules associated with the translation energy, rotational energy, vibrational motion of molecules. Like that, entropy can be understood by taking a small example, that is a cup of hot water if you take, that contains an amount of energy due to this all kinds of energies, dispersal energy of various states of energies. If you left standing on a table, the water loses heat to cooler surroundings. Consequently, definitely what happens? There is a overall increase in the entropy. Overall increase in the entropy because dispersal of energy over a greater many energy states, translational, vibrational energies of the air molecules. Another example, if you take, a situation is depicted. I will show you picture. A spontaneous process from a valve, we will see. Like this. Here there is one cork is there, stopper is there. A molecules. Okay. And once we have opened this one valve, this is nothing but valve, then what will happen? We will see. This is one picture, if you observe. This is a spontaneous process after the valve is opened. Here valve is there. Valve is opened and the molecule distributed evenly, uniformly between the two bulbs. This is one thing. What will happen in the case of the reverse case of this one? This is the forward one. So what is the forward process? This arrow mark indicates a spontaneous process. When you try to do like this, reverse one, it won't take place. That means this is a reverse one is a non-spontaneous process. After valve is opened, molecules preferably gather in one bulb. Will it take place like this? No. So that's why we are calling this is non-spontaneous process. Non-spontaneous process. Okay. That means, as we have shown, depicted in the figure, before the valve is opened, system possesses a certain amount of entropy here. Upon opening the valve, gas molecules have access to combined volume of both bulbs. A larger volume of our movement results, narrowing the gap between translation energy levels of molecules. Consequently, what will happen? Entropy of the system increases because closely spaced energy levels leads to greater dispersal among the energy levels. This is closely spaced energy levels led to greater dispersal among the energy levels. That means, in this example, we understand that spacing between the translation energy levels is inversely proportional to the volume of the container. Spacing between the translation energy levels is inversely proportional to the volume of the container and the mass of the molecules. These all from the quantum mechanical analysis. Okay. Let us talk about some possibilities. In thermodynamics, the possibilities of distributing molecules in different containers or compartments is called as microstates. So we can distribute the molecules in different compartments in different ways. The way of distribution is of different kinds and microstates are different. So more the microstates, more is the entropy. Okay. Let us talk about such things using Boltzmann's equation. In 1868, Boltzmann showed that entropy of the system is related to natural logarithm of the microstates. So here W is shown. This is the equation. Where what is W? W is nothing but the number of microstates. W is nothing but number of microstates whereas the K is nothing but Boltzmann constant. K is called Boltzmann's constant, value is 1.38 into 10 power minus 23 Joule per Kelvin. And here what we can understand from this W is number of microstates. Microstates nothing but there are possible distribution of molecules in a given volume. In a right way of distribution, possibilities are that possibilities we will call microstates. And this larger number of the W microstates indicating that a greater entropy of the system. Like enthalpy, this entropy is also said to be one of the state functions, important state function, which depends on initial and final states of the system. Okay, in this, if you consider certain process in a system, then entropy change for the system can be written. Entropy change. If you write delta S, entropy change, initial entropy change Si, final one Sf if you keep, then Sf minus Si is nothing but change in the entropy we can say. Okay, in this Sf and Si or Si and Sf are the entropies of the system in the initial state and the final state respectively. From the above equation, from this equation, if you expand it, then it will become K into ln Wf minus K into ln Wi also will come. And in this logarithmic functions, if you just take K common, then it will become ln Wf by Wi. This is another expression. In this expression, W is nothing but number of microstates. Wf is number of microstates in the final state of the system. Wi is the number of microstates in the initial state of the system, right? And in this, suppose if you observe that Wf is greater than Wi, definitely entropy change will become greater than 0, means positive. And entropy of the system, we can say entropy of the system definitely increases if this is noticed. Okay. This is Boltzmann's expression. Hope you observed Boltzmann's expression using different arrangements of microstates. Okay, we will going to conclude this class now, and in the coming session we are going to talk about exactly what are the changes in entropy. What are the changes in entropy in the next class? Okay, until have a nice day. Thank you.